Okay, so let's just start with a question. How far would you go to deliver a message you truly believed in? I mean, really think about it. What price would you pay? Would you put your reputation on the line, your happiness, your entire life? It's a heavy question, for sure, but it gets us right to the heart of one of the most shocking stories in the entire Bible.
Right. This is the command a prophet named Hosea gets straight from God. And this isn't a suggestion, It's not a metaphor for a sermon. This is a direct order for his life. Go marry a woman known for her unfaithfulness and start a family with her. And you have to ask, why? Well, it's so he would become a living, breathing symbol of a deeply broken relationship.
Because this whole shocking command, it's not actually just about judgment. It's the beginning of a story about a love so relentless, so stubborn, that it just refuses to let go even when it's been completely betrayed. This is the story of Hosea.
So this is the first thing we really have to get our heads around. This wasn't just a story for Hosea to tell people. It was a parable he had to live. His marriage, his home, his kids, his entire life was meant to be the stage for this painful drama playing out between God and the nation of Israel.
Now, to understand why God would demand something so drastic, we have to rewind the clock. We're talking 8th century BC Israel, and the nation is staring down this absolute monster from the north, the brutal, ever-expanding Assyrian Empire. They were just gobbling up every kingdom in their path, and Israel knew they were next. The pressure was unbelievable.
And under all that pressure, the whole nation was just falling apart from the inside out. I mean, just look at this timeline of their last kings. It's insane. Zechariah lasts 6 months, assassinated. His killer, Shallum, is on the throne for 1 month, and then he's assassinated. It's just this horrifying cycle of coups and violence.
And think about what that means. In the last 30 years of its existence as a country, Israel had 5 different ruling families violently take the throne. That's not a stable nation. That's a nation in a death spiral.
But see, this violence wasn't random. It was basically a civil war, fueled by one question. What are we going to do about Assyria? One king would try to appease them, pay them off, and an anti-Assyrian group would rise up and kill him. Then the next guy would try to fight back, and a pro-Assyrian faction would murder him. That monster from the north was tearing them apart from within.
But here's the thing. The political crisis, it was just a symptom of a much, much deeper problem, a spiritual one. This wasn't some sudden collapse. Nope. This was the final stage of a 700-year drift away from God that started the moment the kingdom split in two, centuries earlier.
And their betrayal really boiled down to 2 core things, 2 ways they broke their original agreement, their covenant with God. First, the deal was absolute loyalty to Him and Him alone. The reality? They were worshiping all kinds of idols. Second, the deal was take care of each other, especially the vulnerable. The reality? The rich and powerful were crushing the poor. They had broken the relationship in every way that mattered.
And that brings us right back to Hosea, that 700-year spiritual adultery, choosing other gods, all the injustice. That is the betrayal God wanted Israel to finally feel. He needed the pain to be personal, and so he made it deeply personal for his prophet. Hosea's heartbreak was meant to be a mirror of God's own.
And the message just keeps getting more intense from here, because it wasn't just Hosea's marriage that carried this message, it was the names of his children. Each name was like a formal verdict being read out over the whole nation.
The first son is named Jezreel. It literally means God will punish. Talk about a statement. It's a direct promise that a day of reckoning is coming. All that violence and corruption in their history, it wasn't forgotten. Consequences were on their way. Then, a daughter is born, and her name is Lo Ruhamah. It means no compassion. I mean, can you even imagine? This is a terrifying escalation. God is basically saying, after 700 years of patience, for this generation that just refuses to turn back, my compassion has run out. And finally, a third child, a son, is born. And his name is the most devastating of all, Lo Ameh. It means, not my people. This is it. This is the breaking point. God is declaring a divine divorce. He's saying, you are not my people, and I am not your God. The relationship is over.
Now, the story could end right there. It'd be tragic, sure, but you could argue it was a deserved conclusion. But just when the judgment hits its absolute rock bottom, the entire story pivots on one single, powerful word. Yet after no compassion, after not my people, you get this word of impossible hope. It's a signal that judgment is not the end of the story.
And what comes next is just a stunning reversal. God promises that in the very same place where they were rejected, they will be reclaimed. The verdict of not my people is going to be overturned and replaced with a new name, children of the living God.
So why? Why give this incredible promise right after such a harsh judgment? Well, because it was a survival tool. For the people about to be dragged off into exile, this promise was their lifeline. It was a reminder of who they really were, an anchor to keep them from just being erased by a foreign culture. And it wasn't based on their ability to be faithful. It was rooted in God's ancient, unbreakable promise to their ancestor, Abraham.
And this is the paradox that beats at the very heart of the book of Hosea. You have a totally deserved destruction on one hand, and a completely undeserved, unending love on the other. A relationship that is absolutely broken, and yet a covenant that God refuses to forget. Both things are true at the exact same time.
Which kind of leaves us with this one last thought to chew on. When your nation is gone, your home is destroyed, and your future seems completely erased, what does it mean to know that you are still remembered by a love that will not let you go? That is the question and the powerful promise that echoes all the way through Hosea's story.